Hello lovely people, and welcome once again to my channel, The Aspie Witch. My name's Brooke and I'm a traditional pagan witch. Now today I thought we would have a little chat about the amazing phenomena that is astral projection. So let's get into it. Surveys suggest that between 8 and 20% of people claim to have had something like an out-of-body experience at some point in their lives. A sensation of the conscious, spirit, or astral body leaving the physical body. While most experiences occur during sleep or under hypnosis, some people claim to do it while merely relaxing. Practitioners of astral travel insist that the experience must be real because it seems so vivid, and because some of the experiences are similar, even for people from different cultures. But it's not surprising that many people who try astral projection have similar experiences. After all, that's what the term guided imagery is, when an authority, such as a psychologist or astral travel teacher, tells a person what they should expect from the experience. It may be a profound experience, but the fundamental problem is that there is really no way to scientifically measure whether or not a person's spirit leaves or enters the body. The simplest and best explanation for out-of-body experiences is that the person is merely fantasizing or dreaming. Because there is no scientific evidence that consciousness can exist outside of the brain, astral projection is rejected by scientists. Why hasn't astral projection been proven scientifically? Some claim it's because mainstream scientists are closed-minded and refuse to even look at evidence that doesn't fit their narrow world view. However, in science, those who disprove dominant theories are rewarded, not punished. Proving the existence of psychic powers, astral projection, or alternative dimensions would earn the dissenting scientists a place in the history books, if not a Nobel Prize. Scientifically, testing the validity of astral travel should be quite simple. For example, you might hide 10 unknown objects at different locations and then ask a person to project their consciousness to each place and describe exactly what's there. Either descriptions match or they don't. Now, I personally find this theory a bit useless, because as for me, when I astral travel, I am not aware of all my surroundings, usually just what I need to see for whatever reason. And I find I mostly have a certain destination that I'm drawn to go to. However, on the rare occasion, I can think of somewhere I want to go and I go there, but that is not the case for the most part. So to say to hide objects, then expect someone just to go and find them is not always possible, and so not a reliable way of proving the reality of astral projection. Of course, there may be some out there who are fully capable of doing this. I have no idea. I don't think astral projection will be proven in our lifetime. I and others who experience this know it's real, and for me, that's what's important. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? You know, it gives you something to think about. I remember my first experience on astral projection. I was about 24, I think. I had my eldest was just born then, so. And I remember my husband went off to work, and because he went on early, so it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was laying in bed and I was just, you know, sort of drifting, not quite asleep, and all of a sudden I just felt this, like a pull, like someone was, like, it's really hard to describe. It's a lovely feeling. It's, you know, when you're sinking, you're just about to fall asleep, it's kind of like that, but it just keeps going, and it feels like you're being pulled out of your body. And I remember looking down, this is the only time I actually did look down on myself, looking down and seeing, and being instantly scared and going slamming straight back into my body, straight away, oh my goodness. And I really didn't think any more of it. I just thought maybe I dreamt it, but I knew there was something more to it than that. I was a little bit scared, so I was like, no, it was just a dream, but it wasn't. And then years went by and we moved house, and it started to happen to me again. And I remember the first time again, I was in bed, and all of a sudden I was in my bathroom, and it was daylight, and everything was really blue. The colours are so vivid. When you astral project, the colours that you see are so vivid, like turned right up to full. And I was in there and everything was blue, and I remember flying round and round and round the bathroom and thinking, I'm awake, I know what I'm doing, I am fully conscious of what I'm actually doing here, and I'm going to go downstairs now. So I went, there's a difference between a dream and astral projection. I will get to that in a minute. And I did. I went downstairs, but I wasn't allowed in my living room. For some reason, it was like, no. It's almost like there's a guide with you, and they sort of help you on where to go. This is my experience, mind. You may be different, absolutely. But there's almost like, for me, it feels like there's somebody like kind of guiding you where you're supposed to go at that point of your astral projection. I don't know why, but for me there is. And of course I was guided into the kitchen. I don't know, maybe to make a sandwich. No, I'm joking. I was in the kitchen, but I was not allowed in my living room. I don't know why. I think someone once said there was some kind of portal in my living room. A psychic once did tell me. So maybe it was that. So anyway, I was in my kitchen, and then next thing I know, back in my body. And I had that on a few occasions over the next few weeks. And there was another time where I do believe that when you astral project, sometimes your spirit comes back into your body a little bit too soon. And so your mind's awake, but your body is still asleep. And so you feel like you are paralyzed. For me, it feels like I'm suffocating. It feels like I'm under my duvet and I can't breathe because I can't move. Sorry about the impressions I'm doing here, but no, I can't move. And it's like it is like somebody on your chest, you literally, and it's like for me, it's like someone's got their hand over my mouth. I can't breathe. But what it is where your body is absolutely asleep and still, but your mind's wide awake because you've just come back in. So a little tip for that, if you ever do get that happen to you, or you've had that happen to you, a little tip is, what I do is I ask my angels and guides every night, if I go astral flying, to guide me safely back into my body, and then you'll find the sleep paralysis stops. That's what I found. I haven't, knock on wood, haven't had it since. Yeah, and then I've had another few times. I've had one time I was at another place, we lived at another place, and I woke up in the morning and it was as if somebody was behind me trying to kick me out of my bed to the floor. I could feel myself shifting, and I was like, I don't like this. And it wasn't a great feeling. It wasn't so much a flying thing as an awareness of somebody there trying to push me out of bed. And I can feel myself moving along my bed to get to the floor. And just as I was about to hit the floor, back. That was a strange one. There's another thing that I will say about dreaming, the difference, because people say, oh, it's a dream. You know, it's a dream. No, it's not, because I've had astral experiences where I've been dreaming. I've been in a dream, and all of a sudden I become out of my body in the dream. I'm awake. I'm like, oh, and I can go places and do things. Like one time I was dreaming that I was just walking along whatever. And next thing I know, I was like, oh my goodness. And I knew something clicks, and you just know that you're not in your body anymore. And I thought, I'm going to go flying down the street. And I did. I went flying. And you know, sometimes when you're running in a dream and you're trying to get away from people, and you go, oh, and you're trying to go faster and faster and faster. Well, it's like that, but then you can fly. I know I sound like Buzz Lightyear, but you can fly. You can, and you take off. I mean, for me, sometimes I find it hard to get any real speed going at the moment. Maybe it's because I haven't been doing it long enough. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, but maybe you have to be an actual spirit out of body to be able to fly and move fast. I don't know. Maybe you guys can fly fast. Let me know in the comments your experiences. But yeah, you kind of like, you're running, and you can fly, and you fly in somewhere. You can feel the breeze and everything, and you can go where you want to go. It is pretty amazing. You know, there's lots of other ways people experience it, but for me, when I'm laying in bed, what happens to me, and what recently has been happening to me, is it's really strange, because I get up, go to the toilet, have a wee, about, I don't know, 4:45, whatever, that sort of time. It's just starting to get light. We're in the UK, so it's kind of dark, kind of light at the moment in the mornings. And I get back in bed, and I'm just laying on my back. I find when I'm laying on my back, it usually happens most. So I'm laying on my back, and I'm drifting, and my mind's thinking like you do. And all of a sudden, it's almost like your mind just shuts down, but it's still going. And all of a sudden, you feel this. It's an experience. It's just a pull. It's almost like a sinking, lifting, like almost like you are floating. Like you can feel yourself doing this, and it's so soothing. The feeling is really soothing for me. It may not be, I don't know, everybody's different, but for me it's very soothing feeling. And then next thing I know, I don't ever look down on myself, and I don't ever see my ceiling, and I never really look back on my room. I'm just in the place that I'm meant to be in. I'm in this other place, and I'm able to do things and communicate with other people, other spirits, other astrals. It's very, very, it's incredible, to be honest. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, and I've been getting it a lot lately. Maybe it's because I'm more in tune with it, and I'm actually reading a really good book on it at the moment called The Hedge Witch. So we call it hedging. So maybe, you know, I'm actually able to do it a bit easier now. I've got a bit more knowledge on it and stuff. It doesn't just happen so randomly. I kind of expect it now, which is great. I mean, it's an amazing experience. If you haven't had it, there are videos on YouTube as well that will tell you how to actually try and do it. You know, I've put these videos in before about with information about it, but I'd want to have a chat with you about it because it's something that I've, like I said, I've had since I remember having since I was about 24, you know, so it's quite a few years. I'm 51 now, so it's, you know, it's a long time on and off. But please let me know your experiences on astral projection and how you feel and how it makes you feel and what happens to you. I'd love to know. It's an incredible thing to talk about. So yeah, leave some comments. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this video now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because it always means a lot to me. And don't forget your comments as well. And don't forget, I didn't forget, to live your extra witchy life, and I will see you on the next video.